Ripple just went full on bank mode. This isn't just another partnership, it's a complete financial takeover move, and it could reshape how institutions trade, clear, and settle across an entire crypto and FX landscape. They've just closed a 1.25 billion acquisition of a prime brokerage called Hidden Road, and this might quietly be the biggest play Ripple has ever made since launching XRP. Stick around, because today I'm going to be breaking down exactly what this means, how it could send XRP to levels we haven't seen before, and what Ripple is really building behind the scenes while the rest of the market sleeps.
I am not a financial advisor. This video is based solely on my opinion on what I'm personally doing in this market. I also want to let you know that some of the links below and in the descriptions are affiliate links, meaning I may get a commission, but it will be at no extra cost to you. Please remember that under no circumstances will I ever contact you and ask you for investments. You can confirm all of my real social media handles in the description and also at milkshakematty.com. This content is for educational and entertainment only, and I'm not a financial advisor.
Right, let's do a quick market check before we deep dive. Bitcoin is sitting around 111,600 US dollars, up slightly overnight. XRP is holding firm around $2.56, and that's after this announcement, which tells me the market's still pricing in the impact. Alt-season momentum is brewing again, but this Ripple story might be the spark that takes it to the next level. Before we get into it, a quick shout out. If you're serious about trading and you want to see how we're catching these moves live, join the Wolfpack. You can grab 4 weeks free access right now by using the code CRASH7. The link is in the description or at milkshakematty.com. So what's actually going on here? Ripple just completed the full acquisition of Hidden Road, a global non-bank prime broker that services institutions across FX, crypto, derivatives, and even fixed income. If you're wondering what this means in simple terms, this is the plumbing that hedge funds, market makers, and high-frequency traders use to move serious money. Prime brokers sit at the core of financial markets, providing credit, clearing, margin, settlement, and access to liquidity. By buying Hidden Road, Ripple didn't just buy a company. They bought a bridge into TradFi itself. And that's why I say Ripple just went full-on bank mode. Let's zoom out for a second. Ripple already dominates in the payments corridor space, cross-border settlements, on-demand liquidity, and using the XRP ledger for real-time value transfer. But now, with Hidden Road, Ripple just added to the institutional backbone that plugs into everything from hedge fund trading desks to Forex clearinghouses. This move transforms Ripple from a single vertical company to a one-stop fintech ecosystem. Payments, settlement, liquidity, collateral, and now prime brokerage. And here's what that actually unlocks. First, you've got institutional liquidity. Ripple gains direct pipelines to the biggest trading desk in the world. When those desks need liquidity in digital assets or FX, Ripple Prime, as they're now rebranding Hidden Road, that is exactly what it can offer. Second is collateral utility for RLUSD. Ripple's upcoming stablecoin, RLUSD, is expected to be used as collateral for margin and settlements. That gives it real utility beyond speculation. Third is on-chain integration with the XRP ledger. Imagine the speed of XRPL combined with institutional clearing infrastructure. That's potentially game-changing for the cross-market settlements and even DeFi adoption inside traditional financial systems. On top of that, Ripple say Hidden Road's business has tripled in volume since the deal was first announced. So this isn't just a flex. This is strategic positioning. Ripple quietly embedding itself into the same financial plumbing used by the biggest funds on Wall Street and in London. They're turning XRP into the heartbeat of the next generation financial internet. Quick side note, if you're trading XRP like I am, the exchange I use for leverage trades is Bitunix. You've got up to 100,000 US dollars in new trader bonuses available. KYC is optional, and the link's in the description or at milkshakematty.com. That's where I take most of my leverage positions. Now, let's talk about why Ripple needed this move. For years, Ripple has been stuck with one major limitation: regulation. Even though they beat the SEC in court and proved XRP itself isn't a security, a lot of institutions still hesitate to touch anything crypto native. So Ripple's now solving that by owning the bridge. Instead of begging banks to adopt crypto rails, Ripple is buying the rails outright. Hidden Road is fully licensed, globally connected, and already serves some of the same hedge funds that trade through Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and UBS. That means Ripple just gained a seat at the big boy table. And they didn't stop there. Remember a few months ago, Ripple also bought Rail, the stablecoin platform, for about $200 million, Combine that with Hidden Road, and you start to see the architecture forming. Rail is the stablecoin insurance, it's RLUSD. Hidden Road and Ripple Prime is the brokerage, the clearing and the credit. And then the XRP ledger is settlement and liquidity layer. That's a full financial stack. They're becoming what the traditional finance calls a one-stop prime service shop. The market has noticed. After the announcement, XRP spiked to around $2.60 and held there, a strong sign of underlying accumulation rather than a pump and dump. Institutional money loves infrastructure plays, and this deal gives Ripple exactly that: credible, revenue generating exposure to institutional finance. We're now seeing analysts talk about XRP not as a speculative token, but as a native asset with structural demand driven by institutional utility. That's the shift that we have all been waiting for. When people say XRP will be used by the banks, this is what it actually looks like. It's not about every bank holding XRP in a wallet. It's about Ripple owning the rails that moves the value between the banks, the desks, and the liquidity venues. Hidden Road gives them that access. And with the rebrand to Ripple Prime, they're signaling a future where they're not just blockchain company, they're a full stack fintech powerhouse. It's the same evolution PayPal made when it went from a payment button to a bank-like ecosystem. Only this time, it's on-chain, instant, and global. Let's break this down from an investor's point of view. The traditional financial world runs on three pillars: credit, liquidity, and clearing. Ripple now touches all three of those. For the credit, it's Hidden Road's prime brokerage service. For liquidity, it's the XRP ledger and the ODL rails. And clearing, it's on-chain settlements via RLUSD and Ripple Prime. That is the full circle. If you hold XRP, this means future institutional demand won't just come from hype, it comes from actual market mechanics. Firms will need XRP liquidity to clear the trades, settle derivatives, and collateralized positions. That's sustainable demand, the holy grail of a crypto valuation. Ripple is playing chess while everybody else is trying to play checkers. Look around the market right now. Most projects are chasing hype, AI tokens, meme coins, and layer 2s. Meanwhile, Ripple is acquiring licensed, revenue-producing infrastructure that plugs directly into global banking systems. They're not asking for permission anymore. They have literally bought their way in. And the fact that this deal is worth over $1 billion tells you something else. Ripple's war chest is loaded. They're not some scrappy startup, they're a financial institution in disguise. And if you want to learn how to trade around moments like this, not by guessing, but by using the real tools, signals, then jump into the Wolfpack. We go live, we trade together, and we share setups daily. Use that code CRASH7 for 4 weeks free. There's a link below in the description or at milkshakematty.com. Let's talk about potential impact on XRP's price over the next phase. Historically, every time Ripple expanded into new verticals, liquidity corridors, central bank partnerships, stablecoin integrations, XRP followed with multi-month uptrends. If this pattern repeats, and given current market sentiment, we could easily see XRP challenge that $3 resistance in the coming weeks. And if broader adoption of RLUSD as collateral takes hold, it opens the door to a structural re-rating of XRP's long-term value. I'm not calling specific targets, but I'll say this. The acquisition gives XRP something it's never had before: a direct pipeline to institutional demand that does not rely on retail speculation. That means people like me and you. It means the hype on social media. No longer will the price of XRP rely on people like me and you. That's the difference between hype and utility. Ripple is quietly becoming the Goldman Sachs of the blockchain era. They've got payment rails, brokerage, stablecoin infrastructure, regulatory clarity, and now institutional credibility. The rest of the industry is about to wake up and realize that the game has changed. This is no longer about whether XRP will be used. It's about how deep into finance Ripple's infrastructure is already embedded itself. If you found this breakdown useful, hit the subscribe button, drop me a comment to let me know that you're part of the pack, and also share this with somebody who still thinks Ripple is just a payments company. We all know them people. We've all seen them. Share it with them directly. And remember, this space moves fast, but knowledge moves faster. So go and check the links in the description for the Wolfpack for the 4-week free trial. There's a code, it's CRASH7, We've got a Bitunix sign-up bonuses for over 100,000 US dollars for new sign-up bonuses. All that can be found at milkshakematty.com. So to wrap this up, I am feeling incredibly bullish today about XRP and Ripple in general. The ecosystem is getting stronger. The deals are being towed over the line. It feels like daily right now. The next thing on the horizon for me is let's get that US government back up and running again so they can open up the SEC. Let's get some of these ETFs over the line, and then we'll be able to see where we are. And if that ties in nicely with a bullish movement in crypto overall, we could very well be seeing XRP to all-time highs. I very rarely make XRP price predictions. The reason being is because the haters hate it, and unless you get it nailed on to the exact cent, they'll always say you were wrong. But I'm telling you this now. If things continue this way, if the sentiment continues in a positive manner, and the SEC tow these ETFs over the line, even just a couple of them out of the, 8 or 9 that's there, we're going to be seeing all-time highs for XRP incoming very soon. Thanks for watching. Stay bullish, stay smart, and I'll see you on the next one. And remember, the strength of the wolf is in the pack.